We'd like to welcome you back after lunch. What do you say? Amen. So that we continue with our program. And this afternoon, brothers and sisters, we would like to introduce to you a licensed architect, entrepreneur, and a humanitarian leader who serves as the founder and director of Wilderness Gate, a registered Zambian non-governmental organization combining over 4 decades of professional architectural expertise with faith-based philanthropy. He dedicates his career to community development, medical relief, and self-sufficiency initiatives across Southern Africa. Please put your hands together for Mr. Hilary H.G. Zebron. This is your time, Elder.
Thank you, and blessed afternoon.
Amen.
It's strangely half full. But nonetheless, we must stick to time. So I will charge away. Very briefly, because it's important, I think, for you to understand where this person who's standing here comes from. You've heard that I'm a Zambian by birth. A short background. My stock is first and foremost Ngoni. How many Zambians are there here? My stock is Ngoni, which hails as far back to Eswatini, as it's called today. And that is the one half. And the other half is made up of Jewish heritage. My grandfather was a Lithuanian Jew and of Polish descent. And my other grandfather was a Welshman who became an elephant hunter in the eastern province of Zambia. And he was a tobacco farmer. So that's my general background. I am the last of 9 children, and all of us born and raised in Zambia. Various sections of Lusaka, Livingstone, in the eastern province, up on the Copper Belt, but generally speaking, all of us. There's 5 of us that remain, and I'm the last one. So that's briefly where my heritage comes from. I have practiced as an architect for 44 years in Lusaka and in Botswana. Most of that time, let me just say, I've shuttled between Gaborone and Lusaka, running a practice in Lusaka and in Gaborone. So for 34 years of those 44 years, I have been shuttling between Lusaka, Zambia, and Gaborone, Botswana. So in this time, I've been involved in a number of activities, church-related. That's just designing church buildings and various other things, but also carrying out some work in various sectors. And the one area that we are now heavily focused on is mission work. In fact, you could say that 75% of my time is spent doing mission work, and 25% is basically to support the mission work in my practices. Now, all our income doesn't come from the practices, but this is one of the areas that has kept us moving to the level that we are, as you will see in this presentation. But before I go there, I think it's important to consider that the last 2 days have been power-packed on making money. I have not heard one person talk about how you're going to use that money in the mission field. I've heard the pastors talk about building churches and the like, but beyond that, what else is there? So you make the money. What do you do with that millions that I've heard being talked about here? What do you do with all that money? I can give you, Pastor Namitondo here has given a number of examples in Deuteronomy and the like, because resources, as they increase, the human mind has a tendency to change. Power comes from money, from the resources that one would actually increase as they develop from one day to the next. And you know that power does what? It corrupts. It corrupts like you don't know. Now, where I'm standing here, with my close to 70 years, I shall not tell you the exact number, but close enough, I speak from experience. You may have all your degrees, PhDs, whatever you want, but there's nothing that can beat experience. And experience in the world out there is something that one has to acquire. Over time, it does not come in one shot. So, I look at a number of verses, and I'm just looking at Luke 10. As I listened to all the presentations, I said, wow, maybe I'm in the wrong place. Maybe I'm in the wrong place. Because Christ says here, therefore, I'm looking at verse 2 of Luke chapter 10. Therefore said he unto them, the harvest truly is great, but the laborers are few. This is cleaveth on us, we do wipe off against you. And he talks about a whole lot of money. That's not what my Bible says. Upsetting things a little here. But I'm just reading what the Bible says. Right? So he's saying, get going. Get going. He doesn't say, make your fortune and then get going. Do you follow what I'm saying? So let's look at Wilderness Gate. I'll come back to a few more verses. Let's look at Wilderness Gate, because I think it's important here for us to... Are we good to go? So we are an organization officially registered as an NGO. I beg your pardon. Officially registered as an NGO in 2022. Mission focused, and our goal to bring about sustainable lifestyle change in vulnerable communities. Our core team, building, agriculture, communications, medicine, project management, education, and mission work. That's our team. We've entered into strategic partnerships with an international partner and 2 local entities, and of course we are seeking more support. But just with what we have and what we begun, I will show you where we currently are. So we are operating primarily in Zambia. Zambia has 10 provinces. We are operating in 9 provinces. That is where we are throughout the country. This is our primary area of operation. we are exploratory operating in Botswana, even though we had started work in Botswana many, many years ago, but this is where we are now firmly making a presence in Botswana. Just one little dot. We want what you saw earlier on in Zambia to be here, all over in Botswana, wherever we are capable of doing so. Our two main areas of operation are Lusaka, that's where our administrative base is, and we are up in an area called Kanona, where we have a 90-hectare titled piece of land, and this is along a main road, the main arterial going up north, and then we have another 2,000 hectares on the edge of South Luangwa Game Park. In that area, this is Kanona on the western side of Muchinga, which is Luangwa Valley, and that's the area there that we are operating in. So that's South Luangwa, and that is Kanona. Lusaka's down here. These are the views, some of the views for that area in Muchinga Escarpment. This is Kanona. And of course, this is our general operational business right now. So Wilderness Gate has got missions, farm, and trails. Missions, farm, and trails. Under missions, this is what we are working to, a medical missionary school in the Muchinga Escarpments. We are currently operating mobile medical missionary services. And this is primarily by vehicle, but you'll soon see what we are doing in terms of motorized boat, water transport. A wellness center is being developed in the same Muchinga Escarpments, and we are working to satellite clinics in a number of areas. We have one actually where we are actually getting materials to start developing a clinic in an area called Katubia, southern province of Zambia. We're also into community services, and we are planning to develop a community radio station, but we also have activities to do with orphan care and the like in a number of locations. Under the farms, programs we're doing as an outgrower program. Programs we're doing as an outgrower program. Under trails, we have a wilderness camp in the Muchinga Escarpments, and this one is being developed for us to train in survival skills training, boot camps, pathfinder and guide training camps, and we've actually this coming quarter starting tented camps in the very same area. We also plan to do some nature guide skills training, which will involve survival skills and the like in the very same trails area. That there is our area of operation in Muchinga Escarpments. What the Zimbabweans will call Eastern Highlands, we also have Muchinga Escarpments out in the the northeastern part of Zambia. So now, before I get into the meat of what I'd like to talk about, see, my task here, the easiest thing to do is to just take you through slides and show you what we are doing. But I believe that it's cardinal here that as a mission-focused ministry and registered NGO in Zambia, that you understand the context in which we are operating and what we are doing relative to what you have been listening to for the last 2 days. So I want to take you on a short tour of a Bible parable, spirit of prophecy writing, and a practical excursion of ministry in the context of our calling as Christians or followers of Christ first and foremost, and as Seventh-day Adventists, living in the volatile times we are in. I'm sure you'll agree that our ability to meet today is not guaranteed tomorrow. And the urgency with which we must act before the night is upon us cannot be overemphasized. I speak to the converted. So Matthew 23, Christ talks about, and this is what my Bible says. I'm reading from Thompson's chain reference. My Bible says that in Matthew 23, the first part, he talks about religious talkers. He then rebukes worldly ambition. He then talks about many woes. Woes unto you scribes and Pharisees. And they are pronounced on hypocrisy, outward righteousness, and inward corruption. Matthew 24, he warns of the times we are living in now. Days of tribulation ahead of us. Matthew 25, the 10 virgins. Then he goes to the talents, and in the talents, he talks about spiritual investments. Spiritual investments. But the one that follows is fundamental. Today is a Sabbath, so I'm sure you have your Bibles there. The one that follows is fundamental. He talks about the parable of the sheep and the goats. And my focus is on the last 6 verses, which my Bible describes as the identification of Christ with believers. In other words, he describes who his followers are. Please take time to read this. 2 books, I believe. I'm going to Spirit of Prophecy now. I'll be very quick here. And in particular, the first one, which I call A Compilation of Compilations by Ellen White, is Christian Service. And the book, Ministry of Healing. A book, the book Christian Service, I believe every Adventist should read. And this is a quote taken from the book Ministry of Healing, page 143. Christ's method alone will give true success in reaching the people. The Savior mingled with men as one who desired their good. He showed sympathy for them, ministered to their needs, and won their confidence. And then he bade them follow me. So at Wilderness Gate, we hold dearly to this and have proven beyond a shadow of doubt in these last 4 years of official operation, and beyond that by reflection, that our journey thus far has been guided by this inspiration. Our primary partner in our mission, and we have a number of very strategic partners, has been Farm Stew International, a very prominent ASI member. And I believe after our many missions prior to our meeting, FSI was a godsend. This Farm Stew program has been the most effective solution to introducing Christ to the world. I say Christ to the world, not to the marketplace, but to the world, as we might see it. So let's look at this Farm Stew. You see, if you want to, in the context of Matthew 25, verse 40 to 46, have someone stop and listen to you about Christ without him knowing, talk to him about his immediate and fundamental needs. Talk to him about his immediate and fundamental needs. Tell him you know about someone who can fix his problems, who can change his life, who can take him out of poverty and depravity to an abundant life. Our solution as Wilderness Gate has been farm stew. And coupled with that is medical mission, and it has almost always been guaranteed, as you will see. So farm stew takes you out from extreme poverty to abundant life. And when we look at the world situation, 1.1 billion people live in extreme hunger, disease and poverty. So farm stew trains families to lift themselves above it all and into abundant life offered by Jesus. Read John chapter 10, verse 10. This is the farm stew call to action. So, beyond this now, this is what happens. So we holistically train families on biblical principles of growing nutritious food, protecting themselves from disease, and generating sustainable income so they can help themselves. We effectively equip families with the skills, tools, and social support they need to succeed, and this includes seeds, seedlings, farm tools, pads for girls, village savings clubs, and water wells. And then we don't leave them. We continually coach them. So when you consider this curriculum, the F under farm stew stands for fruitful farming. The A is for a positive attitude. We've heard being talked about here mindset change. But we first want to make sure that our trainers have a mindset change before anything else, so that when they get into the field, they are ready to take on the many challenges that you will find. So this is a very important part of our training. Positive attitude. Refreshing rest. We talk about the mother and child rest. But this opens the door for discussion or training on the Sabbath rest. And then from whatever they've got here in farming, we show them how to cook nutritious meals. Proper sanitation, and this is quite a big one. Wise temperance, profitable enterprise, probably one of the most popular parts. And then safe water. So we started back in 22 with 5 trainees, and from a humble 3-person out of the 5 beginning its first community, Wilderness Gate and Farm Stew have developed a network of communities in the 9 provinces, as I indicated. So today, last year, December, we were looking at 5,320 households that were impacted by this program. And 120 communities. Today, as of May 2026, we have 150 communities, 150 communities plus, and 156 communities, I beg your pardon. We have 7,280 households. 7,280 households have heard about Christ through this program. So if that's a household, just do the math. How many numbers would you have in an African family? Do the math. 7,280 households. In this setting here, we have 26 planters, 156 volunteers, 31 trainers, 9 field coordinators, and 3 regional coordinators. Our total number of certified households, I'll explain what that means, is 860. And in there, we have 272 VSLA groups, which is Village Savings and Loan Association. This here is a powerful tool under the E for enterprise. So, this is a self-sustaining program. And when a household takes on this program seriously, we've seen amazing changes that come out of communities. Because in there, we have hundreds upon hundreds of testimonies of people's lives where one was a total and absolute drunkard, waste of time in his family, going home, thrashing his wife, and his wife joins this program and realizes that, what? I don't need to take all of this. She starts growing her own vegetables. She starts feeding her malnourished children. She starts learning gospel in the process. And the husband starts to wonder what is going on in his own home. His wife is not asking for money. She is not doing the normal complaining and the like. She's getting on with her life, and he starts to accuse her of adultery. Where are you getting this money from? But in all of this, I mean, this is just one testimony. There are hundreds of them, of a man who chased his wife away and children because of drunkenness. And then he learns about the T, temperance, and suddenly realizes that this is not taking me anywhere. Changes his life, starts a program that helps to uplift him, and the next thing you know, his family is back, and they are talking about Bible studies. You see, we see every community as a potential church. This is our plan. In there, those households, these communities that we see as a potential church. We've got now, I can't even on my fingers count the number of small church branches that have started in areas where these communities have developed. And all I can tell you right now is that where this has started, we are going much further than we have even realized. So here we are, Farm Stew International, our primary partner. We are also working with Ebenezer, Medical Mission, and Organic Farm 7, who I believe have been to Botswana before. Right, so these are our primary partners. This one is the one that we're working very closely with on the medical mission work that we are doing. So here we are transforming urban and rural communities. In the urban context, this is what one of the squatter areas or shanty or komboni areas, as we call them, looks like. These are trained planters. This was us running or working in an orphanage area. And of course, in the urban areas, it's difficult to find land. So we train them how to have sack gardens. Here you see people with their gardens doing very well. And they are able to sell and make that extra money which they need to keep going. There we are. This is an urban community impacted. We also distribute washable sanitary pads. And currently the program is quite vigorous. Last year we distributed over 5,000 washable sanitary pads, and we also distributed girls' panties between the age of 11 and 15 years old. We have a program here called Freedom from Shame. I'll talk about that as we go on. This is a rural setting where we train on organic gardening, and you can see a nicely mulched garden here. This is them being taught how to prepare, how to transplant, and as you can see there, there's a lot of activity. So these are very vigorous communities doing very well. We teach them how to make milk out of soybeans, how to make tofu, where they eat soybeans, and how to make various other meals out of the use of soya. There we are, a situation, sanitation, the impact of these schoolgirls. Because once they get the monthly cycle comes, more often than not, they're not going to school. And with this year, the children are able to continue. The girl child is able to come out of that cycle of remaining behind, especially in the rural areas. There's one area in the southern province, I won't mention where because this is one area that is famous for polygamy. Grandfather sees a girl child as chattel. Chattel, you know the term chattel? Disposable income, effectively. And so that girl child is discouraged from going to school because all that grandfather can see is cattle from this one child. So when we went into one area, we had a struggle on a medical mission trip with the men of that community, not the women, but the men. Because as we were distributing washable sanitary pads after a medical mission program, there was a bit of an uproar in one location. This is the actual location. It's called, in the southern province, I was about to mention the name, but that's the area where we distributed these washable sanitary pads. You can see the medical team here, and they were getting some menstrual hygiene training there, and then they are given the washable sanitary pads with their mothers there in full support. Very interesting. Here we provide safe water, and you can see the sort of standards that you would find in rural areas. So we have sunk boreholes, handed over pumps to communities. But now, by the grace of God, Wilderness Gate has its own borehole drilling machine, thanks to our international partner. So we are able to drill water as well. We've just been licensed, and we're going to get going actually this coming week on our first borehole that we're going to drill in a rural location. This is just a picture gallery in the field. You can see there the training. We're training also under sanitation, how to make a tippy tap. This here is a household that has gained from enterprise, meaning that they took the lesson seriously. They planted, they sowed, they ate from the same amount. They're actually roofing their house from the resources that have come out of that. Before we enter into a community, we do what is called a baseline study. So you must go in, understand what you're dealing with. What's the situation with that family? We don't just go in and support without understanding what it is that they need. That baseline helps us now to do a follow-up. Are you following? That follow-up is important because I hear of many churches and many baptisms, but oftentimes we don't hear what the follow-up is in terms of those that have remained in the church. Here, our intention is to make sure we keep an eye on the community, we work with them, as I said, we coach and we move with them. This is a mission enterprise in practice. Sewing machines, this is in Lusaka, provided sewing machines. There was an earlier slide where one lady actually does quite a bit with the sewing. This is the one lady harvesting from a sack. This is her child, carrots, which are about one. This is what we are getting in a lot of the places in the city. We also have a program working with the blind and handicapped in Lusaka, just to try and get them off the streets for begging. We introduce them to a program of, which is supported by us, of growing vegetables. Here is a group of blind and handicapped with one of our trainers. This is a handicapped man with a one leg. Others, all these are blind, all these. and they've basically come to pick up their harvest and continuing with the programs that we have. We under enterprise, we provide solar dryers, and this is dehydrated tomatoes, dehydrated mangoes, and of course the beekeeping program, which is now very, very effective in one of several communities that we've begun this program. The beekeeping itself, we're currently looking at we currently have 200 beehives in one community, and this is what it's doing. We are producing close to 2 tons of raw honey from one community that has 200 beehives in one harvest. So we're planning 2 harvests per year. That will give us 4 tons of raw honey that we will then be able to process. And earlier on yesterday, we had some honey on display there. This has come from this very same community. In our team, we've got planters and trainers who are carpenters, so we don't need to go far. We make the hives, we make a complete thing, but we are looking to get a whole package. So we want to do all of this and be able to sell, not only provide for our communities, but at the same time also sell to generate income for the mission work. That is a very happy community, receiving the rewards from the harvest that they were given the beehives for to sustain their lives. Now, the Botswana project. Last year, June, we trained 8 planters. This year, we're looking to train some more. But of the 8, we had 1 planter who persevered. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is because we had a similar experience in Zambia. You train, and then suddenly they realize that it's too much work. For me to go set up a community, organize through the chief, and and weekly. By the way, we expect you to meet that community once a week. Once a week. We found that in Zambia, as we discovered here, that you realize that it's easier to talk. Christ talks about religious talkers, but he also talks about talkers. Those who do not do, they listen and they say we will do, but they do not do. We had the same experience back there. So even as I speak, this year we trained a batch and we're noticing a trend. When they realize that mission work is not for boys and girls, and I'm not talking about that literally, I'm talking about the seriousness of doing mission work. So yes, I can say safely, go ahead, make the money that you need to make. Get into the mission field is another story. And when Christ gives us admonition, I read Luke 10. He said, go. He didn't say, wait for something for me to give you. He said, go. Taking those few steps forward is a challenge for many people. Sooner or later you find that, maybe not now. What did Agrippa say? Come back another time. When I'm ready for this. What we read, we see in action in the mission field. So this one young lady, she's at the back there, is doing a commendable job in a settlement in the north of Botswana, area called Sujwe. Now, I'm saying this because when I say commendable, you're going into a community that is used to receiving. I don't know about Zimbabwe. I don't know about Angola. I don't know about South Africa. But in Zambia, like it is in Botswana, communities sit and wait for Boma. Boma is government to come and give them something. So when you go into there and you say, look, we want you to become self-reliant, they look at you and say, are you crazy? When all I have to do is sit and wait. So we are living in times where the economies of the world are shaking. So it's not easy to get that government was giving you before. So what we found is, God's timing is amazing, isn't it? Eh? So we go into this community, and that lady there starts making up gardens. This one, here, right? She doesn't wait. She says, okay, let me show you how to do it. She starts off. There we are. Starts making gardens, okay? Planting. And here is a Mona Moholo. Mona Moholo is an older man who also persevered and said, you know what, I'm going to try this. When you go to see his garden, which this group is standing in front of here, he has got the village talking. Talking and saying, maybe there's something in this. Right? So here he's showing the camera an eggplant. They've never seen or known about eggplant before. And he says, I'm not eating anything else. Even the meat which I was eating cannot compare to the taste of this one here. I wish I could speak Setswana the way he spoke. And those who are here would understand what this man was saying. But anyway, coming out of that now, 9 households, 49 more potential households. And that has resulted now in the very same settlement people asking to be trained. So end of this month, 30th of June, we're starting a training in the same area. This is a Basarwa family here. And when we go in, and I talked about the baseline study, we check for malnutrition. And we use, anyone know what a MUAC is? M-U-A-C? M-U-A-C? It's a tape measure that you use for checking the arm width of a child. Right? And when it gets into the red, you know that there's serious malnutrition here. Now, with these children, sorry, I don't know what happened to, with these children here, you don't even need to use a tape. You could see that each one of these children here is malnourished. There's alcohol abuse like no one's business, because this settlement, every other house is a shabin. So it's a mission field on its own, just this village, this settlement. And this is the one that we want to take now to another level. Because they have now agreed that we can start working with them. That is their house behind there. And anyway, a long story on this one. So I move on. How do we work to keep this mission going? Even though we have an international partner, sooner or later, the funds will dry up. Sooner or later. And so we have the agroforestry project at Mutoni village, the beekeeping I mentioned. Our target is 4,000 hives. Borehole drilling, and then we have an interlocking block technology called Habitera. 2 machines currently, and this is just rapid build construction. So, the village drill, this is basically it in operation. And with our community work, we are working with Balm of Hope Rehabilitation Center in Lusaka. Chibinde Orphanage. Now, this is a very interesting one. But I just need to quickly run through this here so that you can understand the importance of mission work. We're called to assist a Catholic nun that has retired with her orphanage. And we say, yeah, sure, we can do that. Go there, talk to her, introduce to her the Farm Stew program, and she develops a garden. This is a 600 plus orphanage. Coming out of that, we then resourced them with soybeans, sorghum, millet, cowpeas for food security for those 600 children. What came out of that is that she asked us now to help her develop the orphanage. She has agreed for us to set up an Adventist education program and a skills training school. In that program, this is the Balm of Hope one in Lusaka, but I want to take you to the one for Chibinde. So this is the children, this is the harvest of beans, this is her in front of a sorghum thing, and that is what we are looking to develop. A school, an orchard with agroforestry, housing in there. This is what she said to me. I said, sister, I won't mention her name. I said, how are we going to work together? We're from different parts of the world, so to speak. So after giving her a number of lessons and the like, every time I go there, she doesn't wear that. She has said, I have to follow the commandments. Now, I can't tell you how overjoyed we were when we realized that 600 children potential on an Adventist education. What do you have there? What do you have that could come out of that? This is single orphan, double orphan, vulnerable children. Boys, girls, in all of this. Right, these are vehicles that we are working on for our mission work. Klokweng, Habane, they are being worked on right now. This is what we are going to use for the mission work. We actually have this trailer when we go out on the mission trips. We do dental, eye, and medical mission work. These are the challenges that you get in mission work. Our trainers out there, I showed you the list of planters and trainers, have to cover some serious terrain, oftentimes on foot. And this is the sort of terrain that they... So when I say that mission work is not for the faint-hearted, not for boys and girls, we need to be serious about what we are interested in doing. This is another ball game altogether. Altogether. So one of the very ambitious programs that we're looking at right now is a medical mission pontoon. And this is the area, Luapula province. That's the population, almost 40,000, 3,800 square meters. And you got thousands upon thousands of fishermen in fishing camps with no facilities at all. So there we want to develop, this is the scenario that we have, typical fishing camp. We want to develop a pontoon clinic. And that's just a general arrangement of the pontoon. 3 clinics with accommodation on the top. That's what it looks like in section. And in the perspectives, this is what we're planning for the Lunga wetlands area. In there, we'll be able to do farm stew, and we will be able to do the medical mission at one go. This is our total costs, $188,000. We are fundraising. That's the price of 3 Land Cruisers. And of course, operations for 1 year. But we're looking at the agroforestry project and all the other things to sustain the operations of this. Now, it would be folly for me to walk away from this. We are members of the Outpost Centers International. Outpost Centers International. I just need 5 minutes, please, to just show this video, 2 minutes of it, so that you can see. I hope the tech team can work with me there, because I will end after this. So we are members of Outpost Centers International. And how many people know about OCI? OCI. How many people know about OCI? If you want to go into ministry, OCI is your solution. To know how to do it, every part of knowing how to start a ministry, what you need to think about, and the like, OCI is your solution. So very quickly, if I can just indulge me here, please. I will just show this because I think it's very important for me to, for us to be able to see what is involved in starting a ministry. So here we are. Can we go? Volume.
Hey everyone, my name is James Hartley. I'm Executive Vice President for OCI, Outpost Centers International, and I'm here at the General Conference session promoting the work that we're doing. OCI, if you're not familiar with OCI, we're an umbrella organization of the supporting ministries of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. We have over 400 member ministries in over 80 countries.
Okay. No volume.
And that should be on full screen.
Yeah. Okay, take it back. See this one. Yeah, great. Excellent. Thank
Hey
you.
everyone, my name is James Hartley. I'm Executive Vice President for OCI, Outpost Centers International, and I'm here at the General Conference session promoting the work that we're doing. OCI, if you're not familiar with OCI, we're an umbrella organization of the supporting ministries of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. We have over 400 member ministries in over 80 countries around the world. So OCI is connecting these ministries together. We are empowering them and offering services and training. We help them do fundraising. We have a website with a ministry directory. So if you'd like to know where there are supporting ministries around the world, go to outpostcenters.org. There's a very strong ministry directory. You can search by country. You can search by category. We have 100 different wellness centers, lifestyle centers around the world. We have schools, academies, mission schools, vegetarian restaurants, health food stores, media ministries. Even Some TV is a member of OCI. So we are connecting the ministries together, holding mission conferences. We have conventions. This last year we did 20 conventions, one in Brazil, one in Chile, one in Philippines, one in Kenya, one in India. And so in all these countries we're bringing the lay people together that are engaged in ministry, sharing reports of what God is doing through them, and that's inspiring more lay people to get even more involved. We've doubled our membership in the past 4 years. We sense Jesus is coming soon, and as we see more and more lay people getting involved in His work. So OCI is here to help inspire lay people for service, to help empower the ministries to do what God has called them to even more, and to partner the ministries together and to help partner them and represent them to the world church and its leaders. So thank you so much. God bless.
I'm just going to show one more quick one. Exit. The one above that. Yeah. Okay.
Take your candle. There is
Have we heard of Weimar University? Anyone heard of Weimar?
every soul.
Just raise your hands, please. Okay. This is an Outpost Centers member. And in Botswana, I represent OCI in Botswana as a regional director. There's a regional director in Zimbabwe, there's one in South Africa, there's one in Malawi. We're looking for regional directors for Angola, Mozambique, for the entire SID. But as I said, setting up your ministry, learning about how to set up a ministry, this is your answer.
Confused and torn, hold out your candle for all to see. Take your candle.
So here you'll see ministries that you may be familiar with.
Take your candle, go light your world. Frustrated world, see how he's tried to light his own candle some other way. See now your sister, she's been robbed and lied to, still holds a candle without a flame. Carry your candle, run to the darkness, seek out the hopeless, confused and torn. Hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle, go light your world. Take your candle and go light your world. We are a family whose hearts are blazing, so let's raise our candles and light up the sky. Pray to our Father in the name of Jesus. Make us a beacon in the darkest times. Carry your candle, run to the darkness, seek out the hopeless, confused and torn. Hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle, go light your world. Take your candle, go light your world. Take your candle.
OCI has much more than, excuse me, an entering way to set up your ministry. It provides support in so many ways. Partly financial, depending on your level of ministry, but more importantly, resources that you need to understand what it takes to set up a ministry. So in Botswana we have two, and I'm proud to say that anyone heard of Kana Lifestyle Ministry? Anyone heard of it? So Kana Lifestyle is a wellness ministry that is hosting Wima University in Botswana this coming week for medical evangelism training. Now, that's the level that you can go to in terms of your ministries. Anyone heard of unwearied servants? Unwearied servants? Okay, Dr. Polo Holo? Anyone heard of? Okay, so that's another one that has been set up. So here we have opportunities. And I said at the beginning, maybe I'm going to upset the tables a little bit here. Because what I read from Luke 10 tells me clearly that Christ did not say that you need to make a huge fortune before you step out and start working. He says, go, go. I send you now. Go and start the work. My own personal testimony, 2 minutes. My own personal testimony. I have seen the Lord open doors that have shocked me, where I realized that on my own, I could do nothing. 44 years in the profession of architecture. Can't say I've made a fortune, but I've lived well. God has been gracious. But my mission work, which I've supported most of this from there, is nothing compared to the work that has been done. For 7,200 households in Zambia have the potential of becoming 156 churches. Not hit and run, but ones that can be retained and followed up on. So I'm thankful to the Lord. He has not given me a mind of, at my age, what do I need a huge fortune for? I said 75% of my time is in mission work. 25% I do my bits and pieces of architecture. That is my little kiosk, my kantemba, which I operate from, in Lusaka and in Gaborone. That's enough. Get going. Make the money, brethren, make the money. But don't sit on that money. Take it to the mission field and start working. God bless you.
So I gave him over an hour. As you would understand, there should be a little bit of some corruption here and there. He's from here. If you are from here, you get more time all the time. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Can we invite to the podium our newly elected president of the ASI to come and speak to us? A round of applause for the new man. He's actually talking about the objectives already. He's paving the way. He's telling us all that he's all about. This is your time, sir.
Good afternoon.
Amen.
Good afternoon.
Amen. Afternoon.
Thank you. This afternoon we are going to discuss, brainstorm, and chart the way forward for ASI for the next 3 years. I don't know. I don't come from this side. I don't know how many minutes I am going to be given. But nevertheless, on the panel to assist me, as usual, my vice president. Okay, I'm happy with close to an hour. As usual, I was telling my new vice president that he needs to ask my vice president for the union that I don't do work, you work for me. So, I'll ask my new vice president to come up front. I'll ask Metusali and our dear pastor to come up front, Pastor Tapera. Basically, what we want to discuss is about the way forward for the next 3 years. And also for the issues which you are thinking and you have raised for the past year or so, and some have started texting me. I think we once sit down and we agreed that I think we need about two countries. Then we can vote and it's over. Anyone who doesn't, I think I've been to Zimbabwe. Anyone who does not come from Zimbabwe? Okay. Mauritius, Metusali, can you? No, I'm not. I'm asking you to write down. Yes, ma'am. Doc. Okay, it's Mauritius. I need another country. I thought for doctors it's easy for you to hear me. You are coming from Zimbabwe, isn't it? No, I don't want anyone from Zimbabwe. Okay. Okay. Angola. Okay. Okay. Let me take the third country to make them 3, because I think we have got 13 countries and the oceans. Yes. Yes, President from Botswana. You want Angola. Okay. Judge, we are not in the court. Yes. It will win. So Zimbabwe, no. Zimbabwe is out. Huh? The Zimbabweans are saying we don't want to go to Zimbabwe. I don't know the reason. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, officer. Commissioned officer.
Okay.
Yeah. To our Seychelles. Then we went to Zambia, South Africa, then Malawi. Now we are in Botswana. Okay, I'm chairing. Thank you. The small committees, can you discuss for the next 10 seconds? I'm giving you. Discuss. No, sir. We are talking about countries. We will get into the details. Thank you, Mr. Siagachana. I will ask Elder Ngure to come up front and explain the reason why we didn't go to Angola. Then after that, we'll look for reason why. Yeah, you can go ahead, Elder Ngure.
Thank you, Mr. President. In our schedule, when we came from Seychelles, we agreed that we were going to do 3 countries. Zambia, then Angola, then Malawi. Due to challenges of leadership, I should insist, in Angola, we failed to have a common ground. What happened is the venues that we want, we have our standard. So normally we send up a team and look for a venue for us, like this one. What do you say? And the venues that we got, the houses, the 2 unions in Angola, they didn't agree on themselves. And at the very last minute, we said, guys, we can't postpone this convention. Let's take it to a country that is viable, easily accessible, and that was South Africa, Mr. President. I do hope the problems can be solved. Thank you, Mr. President.
I know it was too late for us to solve the problems, so we didn't have any option but to
We should go to Angola.
It's okay, Mr. Former President. I'll ask Madam to tell us, what do you feel about Angola? There are challenges which we need to take note of. I would love to go to Angola, but there are these challenges which it's expensive. Anything which is this standard is not cheap. To connect to Angola, it's not also easy unless we charter planes to Angola, which is very possible. We can charter planes. Yeah. So if we get organized, our biggest challenge is ASI in all chapters is we want to do our things the last minute. Our numbers here were so few, but a week to go, we are talking of 100, close to 200. So I think we also need to change our behavior of how we do our business. If we are saying we are going to Angola, we need to pay something. That's what we are doing in the Central Union. If we organize a meeting, you pay a non-refundable fee, $20, so that if you register, that's it. So at least we have the numbers. We know how many people are going to attend. It's very difficult for organizers when you start flocking in the last day and you are paying your money on Friday, day end. It's totally not fair for organizers. So if we are going to Angola, we need to get organized today. Those who are saying Seychelles, so you don't want my Seychelles. Mauritius, Zimbabweans, your hands. Huh?
Should I give him the mic? No.
The other countries except Zimbabwe, those who are saying we should go to Mauritius. Yes, we are voting. Not other countries, not Zimbabwe. There are many. It's only that it's one, but there are many. Okay, those who are saying Angola. Okay, you know what we are going to do? I think we will go to, don't worry forward, we will go to Mauritius, and next year, 2028, we are going to Angola. Are you okay, Mitchell? Okay, sharp, thank you. Yeah, we need to compromise, because when we're outside, we have agreed we are going to Angola, so we are going to Mauritius, and we also want to come up with a date so that it becomes easy for the organizers. Can we come up with a date? Which week? Hello? So we are going to Mauritius, and the second week of May. We'll move the dates if there is any clash. We are one church. Come with it. I want to see. Let me see.
So the second week will give us from Wednesday the 12th to Saturday the 16th for 27.
Okay. This is a provisional date. It's 12 to 15 of May 2027. It's an alternative date. And it's Maita English, Maita law. Thank you. We'll move the dates if there is any problem. If there is any clash with the SID, we'll make sure we sort that one out, like what we did with these dates. So, but we have got an alternative date which we are going to use. We have 25 minutes to finish. Then after that, we have another. We close the Sabbath because in that room there will be guitars at 5. So in the next 55 minutes, we should be done with our program, with everything. I'll ask the Pastor Tapera to come and talk to us about the structures of the ASI. Thank you.
Thank you very much, President. I am going to be short so that the Vice President is going to entertain our concerns. Am I right? Yes. About structures, it's not difficult to set up structures. But I would quickly say, without structures, we can accomplish very little. You notice what we have done here through the leadership of our Vice President is to set up leadership at SID level. Did we observe that? It's like we now have a structure for ASI at SID level. But the structures at SID will not achieve anything if we don't have structures in the lower ranks. Which means what we have at SID in terms of leadership must be duplicated in all our unions. We have 12 unions in our division and an attached field, which means we need to have structures. We need to have the president of ASI in Southern Zambia Union Conference, Northern Zambia Union Conference, Malawi, all our conferences. We need presidents. Just like we have the vice, we also need the same. And then the directors, just like we have them, we also have them in our unions. But you will also notice, if we have structures at union level, without structures in the conferences, we will still not have any traction. So we will also need to have ASI structures in the conferences. Are we getting the point? When it's like that, our machine is oiled. Elder Kondongwe will be having 13 of his counterparts in the unions. I will give the example of Dr. Akombwa, our SID president. There are 13 of his counterparts in the unions and the attached field. So it is easy for him to say, presidents, let's have a meeting. They can now have a meeting because the structures are there. Are we getting the point? Yeah. So that's how the church operates. We cannot operate in any other way if we want to be successful. And where are the members? Do the members reside in the division? There are no members there. Are there members in the union office? Where are the members? So if we want to strengthen ASI, let us make sure we have structures that run up to the conference. Once we do that, where we have membership, it's now easy. Mrs. Marange, who is driving membership, she only drives 13 people, the directors for membership, down the lines. She has meetings with those, they share their strategy on how they are going to drive membership. Once she does that to these 13 are her district. That's her constituents. Then those ones go down and they do the work. Then membership will be there. Logistics, same thing. Are we getting the point? Once we do that, my brothers and my sisters, this machine called ASI can do great strides for the master. But if we are not organized, it would appear ASI is about conventions. Yet it's not about conventions. It's about mission. Are we getting the point? Let me just try to show how this thing works. I'll use Zimbabwe as an example. Let me see those that are coming from the union, the leaders from the union. From the union. Just from the union, not conference. I mean the leaders. The directors. So these are from the unions. And that's Pastor Chisho, is the executive secretary. I mean, Pastor Chisho, sorry, I'm taking you back to the conference. He is the stewardship director. And ASI at union level, he is the person. Are we getting the point? He works with the president of ASI at union level. And then, you can sit down. Let's now come to the conference. The conference, those from the conference. I mean leaders, right? They are from the conference. These are leaders. Elder Makore is the president of the Central Conference ASI. And I mean Northwest. And then Elder Chigonga is the president of Central Zimbabwe Conference ASI. Do you see how this thing can be strengthened? The president is there, the president is there, the president is there. Where I asked Pastor Chisho to stand up, do we have the stewardship directors in the conferences? He's from the union. There is Pastor Mpofu, from the west. Is Pastor Gavi around? Probably he's out. Pastor Maparadza is also around. So there's Pastor Maparadza from the northwest, and there is Pastor Gavi from the central. So you can really see how the thing works, right? Let me see delegates from chapters. Delegates from chapters. Do you see how this thing works? If structures are there, these delegates may actually, if you ask them, did the union president of ASI mobilize any of you to come for the meeting? Who mobilized you? The chapter president. Yeah. So he belongs to the chapter. Thank you. Thank you. So this is how ASI works. And when they do projects, projects are not born here. They are incubated in the structures, in the conferences. Are we getting the point? So we are saying, going forward, let's do the same. And if we want to be successful as ASI, let's not work independent of the church. You will not win the game. That's why Pastor Chisho is here, Pastor Mpofu is here, and Pastor Gavi, Pastor Maparadza. That way, the church says, this is our thing. We will get their support. But if we want to be independent, they will say they want to run away with the church. You will never get even a slot. The union president is here.